What's good? It's your boy, the coach, from the WWE Golf Channel, PGA Tour, EA Sports Madden. You know what time it is. I was a little skeptical at first. Oh, but no longer. It's all about great content. It is now time for yet another episode of the 2B Blunt Podcast with my boys, Frank Knox and Peezy. You never know what they're going to say, but hey, isn't that the beauty of it all? Enjoy. A brand new episode starts right now.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You're tuned in to another episode of 2B Blunt with Peezy.
That's right. We are back. Episode 4 of the 2B Blunt Podcast. The following podcast is scheduled for one fall. I am your host, Peezy, here with my co-host, Frank Knox. Frank, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. I'm excited. Episode 4. We have a lot to cover today,
I
baby.
am fired up today. I'm fired up as all hell. We got a great show coming up. We're going to go over AEW and Evolve from over the weekend. We're going to talk Raw. We're going to talk SmackDown. We're going to talk Weed, Extreme Rules. Thank you, Frank. Exactly. Extreme Rules.
Yeah,
God
the
damn
most
it.
important one, in my opinion, of the weekend.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And, you know, it's been a long week of wrestling. You know,
It's been a great week for the most part of wrestling.
if you're a
and-
wrestling fan, you got a lot of options this weekend.
Yeah, tons of them.
You know, but before we get started talking about wrestling, I don't want to jump the gun, Frank.
We got to do what we do.
I don't want to jump the gun. I need, before we even get to wrestling, to get my mind right. You know this. We do this every week. It's the official ceremonial lighting of the blunt. This week, our strain of the day is GG4, which is Gorilla Glue, or also called, original glue.
That's that sticky, icky.
That's right. It's a hybrid strain, crossing with Sour Diesel, Chem Sister, Sour Dub, and Chocolate Diesel, which is a nice combo.
Sounds phenomenal.
I haven't had 3 out of 4 of those by themselves, but together, it'll knock your goddamn socks off.
Well, without further ado, what do you say?
So let's get ready here. Before I get started, I just want to know we're going to have the Scott in the studio. So
No way. The Scott's here today.
And if you guys want to call in before I get started, 860-384-7110.
I dare you to call in. I dare you.
So, before we even get any further, I ask you, Frank, are you ready?
I was born ready, Peezy.
I said, are you ready?
I'm fucking ready. Let's do this.
Then, for the 3 of us in this podcast studio and hundreds listening at home, let's get ready to smoke it. Yeah, baby. Light that shit.
Yes, sir. Man, I'm telling you that.
Every week.
Every week, it just is his money.
The E40. Ooh, let's get ready to smoke it. And I got the GG4 loaded. And we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Frank's, we're on the topic of weed, which is my favorite topic of all time.
I like the weed portion of our show.
Damn, Frank, you did a good job. Frank rolled the L's this week, by the way. Shout out to Frank Knox.
Yes, sir.
This shit's fire. Big news coming out of the cannabis industry.
What do you got?
The city of West Hollywood in California. They made a landmark decision on Tuesday by approving. Holy shit. 2 seconds into the show, we're already getting phone calls. Hello, you're on the 2B Blunt Podcast.
Hey, what's going on?
Who's calling?
Yeah, who's this?
This is Frank Knox Jr.
Frank Knox Jr.? Frank, you got a son?
No, Frank Knox.
Yeah, who is this?
Knox.
Who the hell's this guy?
Knox Jr.
Frank
Frank
Gott.
Knox Jr.
Frank Gotch?
So what do you got to say, man? We
What do you
haven't
got-
even started our show
I
yet.
know. We literally hadn't even got into my first story, and you're calling here.
You must
You know,
have something breaking.
what's
if you got,
going
yeah,
on?
I mean, come on.
What do you want to talk about, Frank?
Well, I just lit a fatty too.
You just lit a fatty too. What are you smoking on right now? What are you smoking on, Frank?
Frank, that's my name. Who are you,
Shut
man?
up, Frank. Let this man talk, goddammit.
All right, sorry.
What are you smoking on, Frank? Tell the world.
It's weed, but I don't know the strain, man.
It's,
I don't know
what
the
do you
strain.
mean it's fucking weed, bro? Everyone's smoking fucking weed. There's plenty of weed, but what are you smoking? You don't know what strain you got in that blunt? If it even is a blunt?
No, I don't know what strain I got.
Are you smoking a blunt or a joint?
Well, we use raw paper because if you use blunt, then you just nail tobacco. And I hear there's a thing called Montana.
All right, well, next time you call in the middle of our lighting, you better know what strain you're smoking or don't call at all.
That's not true. We love callers, Frank. Come on, be nice. Are you a listener to the podcast,
Well,
Frank?
Well, I listened to your last 3 shows and I loved them.
Oh, that's
thanks,
awesome, man. That's
We
awesome, man.
appreciate
Did
it.
you catch up on any wrestling from over the weekend?
Yeah, well, I'm more of a fan of the international scene. So, I watch primarily Japanese, Mexican wrestling. I have a hard time getting
Well,
to WWE.
I'm glad you like that. That's good stuff.
Well, I thought maybe I could share some good stuff with you that you might be missing out on.
Well, Frank, unfortunately,
yeah, we're not ready.
we're not ready for
we haven't
wrestling.
even
I
talked
haven't
about
even
wrestling.
gotten past the lighting of the blood, for
I
Christ's
mean,
sake.
yeah, I know. What's going on here? We haven't even talked wrestling yet.
You got to call back in like 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
All
What the
we're-
fuck was that,
I
bro?
don't know, man. We're talking weed and someone
Frank
wants
Knox
to...
Jr.?
Yeah, I don't know why he's stealing my gimmick.
I don't know either. That's weird, man. That was weird. It's a weird phone call, but feel free to keep the weird ones coming in. 860-384-7110. Getting back to my story, the city of West Hollywood, California, they had a landmark decision Tuesday, Frank. You know what that is? They approved the first ever cannabis cafe, the first of its kind in the U.S.
So are they going to sell coffee and donuts here as well as marijuana, or would you know the details? Or?
Yeah. The place is called Lowell Farms, and it's an open-air restaurant promising cannabis cuisine and a smoking area outside where you could smoke. So you can eat cannabis-infused food and smoke there.
Well, we might have to go to the grand opening of that one. Huh?
Yeah, and they built it across from a Jewish synagogue, which I guess the rabbi's not too happy about this.
Well, they may get contact high.
Well, listen, I heard that they were going to use a filtration system like they use in the casinos to filter out the smell in the area. So, I mean, I don't know what this guy's complaining about. This is huge news. The first ever cannabis cafe in the U.S. You'd have to go overseas to Amsterdam to get that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I've been to a few over there, and they're crazy, man.
Man.
You get to eat breakfast.
You been?
Yeah, I've been. You get to eat breakfast.
Tell me about the cannabis cafes in Amsterdam. I have
Well,
never been.
You sit down. There's a few. You could walk up to the window and just get your bud and go to a table by yourself and smoke it. Or you could sit down at what we would consider a bar, where you could be served cannabis, espresso, tea, and treats filled with weed, where you could smoke your weed, eat your weed, and just hang out.
Wow, so you can eat it, smoke, and do whatever you want. Just get high.
One place, yeah.
And
It's
why
great.
don't and now they have one in West Hollywood, California. In the U.S., you no longer have to travel overseas to get that kind of experience. I mean, this thing's going to be opening soon, from what I hear.
I'm looking forward to see if it spreads nationally, and I could check out a few over here in the United States.
Yeah, well, we need Connecticut to legalize first, so we can have some of those over here.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
They'll be happening.
And some other cannabis news. Utah, they tweaked its proposed medical marijuana program to allow out-of-state businesses to claim growing licenses. And apparently this is causing a giant uproar to the local farmers. These guys are out here saying that homegrown veggies are the best. There's a lot of concern from the locals about, how they're not allowed to bring the medical marijuana outside of the state, but they're letting people grow outside the state and bring it in.
Yeah, that's a touchy situation. I agree with the farmers. They do have a reason to be upset.
I feel like that would piss me off as
they'd
a
be
smoker,
pissed off, yeah.
Especially let's just say, for example, they don't allow grow rights, maybe under their marijuana program. And my phone, our line's ringing again. Again. Scott, we need you to start, doing the calls for Christ's sakes. This is crazy.
To Be Blunt podcast.
Might be Frank Knox the third.
Well, you're
Peezy, what's up, man? It's the GMIC. How you doing, brother?
Oh, it's the GMIC.
Oh, wow.
The head general manager of Test of Strength Wrestling.
Oh, wow.
Alex Rojas.
and the Belltime Club and the CEO of Pure Shit Apparel.
This is
Don't forget all
true.
my titles.
One of
Come on, man. I give you your respect.
One of the leaders in New England of wrestling. I know this guy he's a mastermind behind a few different promotions now, and he's giving so many opportunities to so many guys and making a lot of stuff happen. As you know, I'm part of Test the Strength, so I know Alex really well. Alex, thank you for calling, bro.
No, listen, man. I feel bad because I'm on the road and the podcast isn't coming in right, so I can't give you the proper respect. I don't know what you guys are up to there, but I just wanted to reach out and let you guys know that it's all love, man, and I'm proud of what you guys are doing, and thank you, man, for everything that you're doing for the business, as far as the wrestling business, as far as the music business, because Peezy's the man, man. I fucks with Peezy.
Let's not forget the weed business.
Yeah, no, well,
She's a jack of all gimmicks.
We were just talking about,
right.
a bunch of cannabis stories. I thought Alex would really appreciate that stuff, but now he can't even get the podcast in the car because he's at work. What kind of bullshit is that,
bullshit.
bro?
We were talking about the first weed cafe open over in West Hollywood.
They're having a weed cafe opening, bro, where you could smoke and eat cannabis-infused foods.
Yeah, but we could do that at your place. I ain't mad about that shit.
Yo, you're so right, bro.
The fuck am I gonna get excited about a weed cafe? Fuck that. I roll a couple blunts, roll up to Peezy's, order some wings, watch some shit, make fun of the Scott.
Scott! Oh, Scott! What do you got to say, Scott? You're getting called out. You remember Alex, right?
Yeah, I know. I got made fun of. That's where we came up with the name of Scott. This guy.
Yeah, no, the Scott. I think I christened the Scott at the new term. I think that was me.
I think I owe you at least half my royalties on my name.
It's all right, man. I give out gimmicks all day. That's what I do. That's my job.
Oh, shit.
Scott, I didn't know you was there, man. I would have given you a shout out. I can't listen to the podcast. I'm on business.
Nobody knew he was here until you just called him out live on air.
I told him he was going to be in studio.
I was waiting for a big introduction, but
I'm going to mute you again so you can go back. I'll introduce you again later, Scott. Thanks.
It's cool. Listen. I'm going to make it up to you guys. Hopefully next Thursday I'm in the studio with you. That's the plan.
Well, if you come next Thursday, bro, it might be a full house because we have, and I haven't even announced this yet, but we got a special guest next Thursday. No, I'm sorry. That's not even next Thursday.
No, not next Thursday.
I lied. You know what? If you want to show up next week, the 25th, at the 2B Blunt Studio, and you want to sit in on a show with us, then you are more than welcome to come join in.
Doors open, brother.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna do that, but don't tell me who it is. I re-up my minutes with Kincaid. You better tell me, goddammit. You know what I mean?
Yo, you know, this is the call Kincaid. You never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, he keeps me in the loop. I got but I got a proof for you. The reason I couldn't be there tonight is because I'm actually on a retreat with TJ Howell II.
Wait, you're on a retreat with TJ Howell?
The second.
Right. That's right. Privileged father.
Dad?
Yeah.
His dad?
Yeah.
I am with the CEO of Howell Enterprises, and we are deep in the woods at one of his many locations, and we're masterminding some big things.
Oh, I can't wait to hear what it's going to be.
With you in mind, Peezy, but we'll talk about that later. They can't give Kincaid all the dirt.
That's right. We can't give Kincaid. That's right.
And last time I had a meeting with TJ Howell III, with TJ Howell II, we did Training Day 24, and you saw how that turned out. That was amazing. So,
oh yeah.
Big things happening for TOS and for HS. This merger with this business endeavor, I should say, with Howell Enterprises is going to be good for all of us, man.
That's right. I can't wait to see what's going to come next.
Yeah, man. No, it's going to be great. It's going to be great.
Awesome, man. We appreciate you calling in, bro.
Yeah, man, of course. I didn't get to listen, man. Did Moonshine make it? Is he 4 weeks over? What's going on?
I don't know. He hasn't called in yet.
Damn it, Moonshine. I was trying to get the dirt.
Well, don't wait for Kincaid to give it to you.
Well, yeah. Well, I'll give you a little dirt. Moonshine, the call for Moonshine to go to rehab actually came from me. And TJ Howell II is actually sponsoring this.
Oh, so, he's sponsoring. He's sponsoring Moonshine in rehab.
Yeah, he's paying for it.
This is huge news, Frank. You hear this? TJ Howell II is paying for Moonshine's AA, whatever his getaway he's got going on right now.
That's breaking news.
Yeah,
I hope Moonshine calls in. I hope he's made it 4 weeks.
AA is part of it, but he's actually at a very prestigious rehab facility. And he's doing pretty good, man. He's getting better every day. From what I hear, he's finishing full sentences written down now.
Wow.
He's learning how to read and write and just get back into society. I think we're gonna see a very different Moonshine when he comes back. I'm gonna miss the parties though. The parties were lit.
Well, me too. Those distillery parties were wild.
Yeah. But listen, Peezy, man, I just wanted to say I love you, brother. Thank you for what you're doing. And me, you, and Hippie Moon are going to have a split session really, really soon.
You already know I'm down, man. I'm down. All right, brother. Thanks for calling in,
Be
man.
safe, man. Later.
Wow. So the phone's already ranked twice.
Yeah,
we're only
just twice.
This
We're
is
only
crazy.
15 minutes in?
I didn't even get started yet, you know?
I'm thinking I'm gauging the problem is we're live, but people aren't really hearing us live. There's a delay.
No, he said he's at work.
Oh, he was at work.
He's at work, so he couldn't listen. So he didn't know what we were talking about.
All
We
right,
were
cool.
talking about Utah. But you know what? Let's move on from that. I got another thing to talk about. Have you been on Twitter lately? I know Bill Bungie has, but have you been on Twitter lately?
I've only been on Twitter for one reason and one reason only.
What's that?
O.J. Simpson, baby.
That's exactly what I was going to talk about. O.J. freaking Simpson is on Twitter now.
Hello, Twitter world.
Hey, Twitter world.
Yours truly.
Dude, this guy, I'm telling you right now, you said that I hated OJ before we went on air, and I don't hate him. I just think he's a guilty fucker. But to see him on Twitter, trying to humanize himself, and he's like 20 years behind times, doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah, he has someone recording it for him.
Yeah, it's not even a selfie. Like,
yeah.
I can't believe this. And Scott, have you seen the OJ videos?
I haven't seen them all.
I'm you and you then. God damn it. See what happens, man? I bring the guy in the studio. He doesn't even know anything unless it's wrestling. That's fine. You know what?
That's fine.
We're going to work into that a little bit.
He has an opinion about O.J. Simpson. Everyone in America has an opinion about O.J.
Yeah, but we got to
Simpson.
play some of these tweets. These videos are money, bro. I got to do it. I got a couple tweets here from Twitter, and I want to go
All right,
through
well,
them.
let's just play one or two, because they're like...
Hello,
they're-
Twitter world. This is me, yours truly.
Yours
Hey,
truly.
Twitter
You
world.
know, in the last 48 hours, I've learned that you're never too old to learn.
I'm never too old to
2
learn.
days ago was my birthday, and I got hacked in my computer. Well, I probably got more duped than hacked.
I got more
in any
duped.
event, they got
more
into all
duped
my
to the world.
information. Fortunately for me, my bank alerted me that there was a charge to coming in from Europe.
Blah,
in
blah, blah,
euros.
blah, blah,
Wow,
blah,
I
blah,
wonder
blah,
if he was
blah,
trying
blah.
to buy some more sports memorabilia overseas or something. Maybe robbing it again. What do you mean a charge? No one cares you got charged but
That's
in
right.
Europe.
Hey, Twitter world. I'm just on here on Amazon trying to get me some illegal sports memorabilia. Let's get another one in.
I'm just trying to get my
This
glove
isn't
back.
golfing. It is teed off.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, he golfs. He golfs
Twitter world,
regularly.
Yours truly.
Those are where most of his
You know what's
videos
hard
take
for me
Why you
to
place.
say?
talking over him?
I'm
God damn it.
celebrating my 33rd
I don't know.
annual 39th birthday. And I got to tell you, it's been quite a ride. They say in every life some rain must fall. Well, I've had some hurricanes descend in my life.
I wonder, what do you think he's talking about? The hurricanes. I'm sure in Miami, goddammit. Man, it's so great to see him on. Hey, Twitter world. It's yours truly.
I've been really following him. Yeah, I look out for him.
I'm just out here looking over my past case files.
He's trying to get the glove back and the jerseys back and everything else.
Hey,
now.
Twitter world. If you got the gloves I killed my wife with, I'd love to
the
get
one.
a piece of them. They don't fit, but I still like that shit. It's money, honestly. If you guys haven't checked out the O.J. Simpson on Twitter, it's literally the best fucking thing you've ever seen. I could watch that shit over and over, and it's just pure comedic gold.
I can only watch. I don't watch them over and over. I just watch them once, maybe twice.
Really?
I mean, I think it's funny, but I don't really want to patronize him by continuing watching his shit.
I mean, all right. I guess I can see where you're coming from. Well, either way, to see him out there, every tweet start with, hey, Twitter world, it's yours truly. And it's just, I don't know. I laugh my ass off, bro. I laugh my ass off. It's
Usually
hilarious.
you end a letter with yours truly. He seems to begin it, I don't know what the fuck's going on, but
I don't think he knows what the fuck is going on. That's the best part. Oh, man, I just want to get some funny stuff out the way, talk about some weed. And we got so much to talk about here. We're going to be going over AEW and Evolve next.
yeah,
right
but
after.
most importantly,
Uh-oh,
man,
okay. What do
we
you got?
have
What do
the
you got?
fucking Scott in studio.
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on. Hold on. Let me unmute you, and I'm gonna give you an official announcement.
The
Scott.
best in the world.
I'll give him. You know what? I'm gonna give him the best in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, hailing from Middletown, Connecticut, he is the smartest Mark of all time, and also the best in the world, the Scott.
That's what I paid for, that introduction right there.
We got the Scott live in studio, and we're going to be talking AEW and Evolve next. But first, before we go into anything, we got to make a call. And I think you know who I'm talking about. We got to call Kincaid and get the dirt. So right now, let's give Kincaid a ring. I got to load my minutes up here. Hold on a second.
Ladies and gentlemen, exclusive breaking news brought to you by the Kincaid Hotline. And now, renowned reporter Don Kincaid.
It's Don Kincaid, baby!
God damn it, Don Kincaid. I got my minutes loaded up for this week. You better have some good stuff for us.
Well, baby, I'm telling you one thing. Last week I charged you guys $13.99. This week it's a midnight special. It's a daytime special. It is only going to be $179 a minute. So I've got so much to tell you guys. I'm going to be on for like 37 minutes. Can I jump right in right now?
We hope you do.
All right. Now I'm going to start me off with some Ring of Honor. You guys are down with some Ring of Honor, right?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've got one of our homebred babies right here called TKO Orion. He was a Northeast Wrestling champion, and he is now in Ring of Honor. And I'm telling you, man, he's making waves, and he's going against one Roosh. Now, this is a big deal.
Roosh?
Yeah, Roosh, baby. Now, this is a big deal because there was a squasher. TKO caught on that. He got the L from Roosh before in a quick fashion, but he's going to take him to the limit. He's going to kick him, and dude, I'm telling you, it's going to be a big one. And now, why it's going to be big? Because it's going to be at Manhattan Mayhem in New York City at Manhattan Center's Hammerstein Ballroom, baby.
That's right in our backyard.
Wow. And that's this weekend done.
This weekend?
Dude, I can't wait, man.
This Saturday, huh?
Don, you going to be in the house?
Me? I don't know. I'm a poor boy. I don't think I got that kind of money. We'll see after my minute bill comes in.
We've been paying you for weeks. What do you mean?
Does that intro say world-renowned reporter? I mean, you think this guy got some cake.
Wow, I think we're getting hustled.
Now, hey, never get hustled from the Kincaid. So, you guys love yourself some MLW, yeah?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
All right, I got some news for you guys, baby. All right, check this out. Now, there's an open weight open weight champion.
Oh.
Now that is one Hammerstone right now. Alex Hammerstone is the open weight champion at MLW. And guess who's coming in to challenge for that belt? None other than Savio Vega, the pride of Puerto Rico, baby.
No, Savio Vega.
Savio Vega, baby. Now, hey, that's not going to be on July 25. I got so much in my head. Okay, July 25. That's the date for
That's
that.
my mom's birthday.
Oh,
July 25th. Yep.
Oh, Mama C.
That's way out in Chicago. That's where they're based out of. So, hey, I can't take that. I can't take that trip. If you can, hey, tell me what's up, okay? All right, now, we've got one more match that I want to talk about because there is another championship on the line July 25th, and that is one Teddy Hart is putting up his middleweight championship against none other than MJF.
Oh, that's big.
Wow, you
money
must
match.
really have the dirt because I thought MJF was hurt.
You know, hey, I see it.
Don, you all right?
I checked it. Hey, I'm all amped up, baby. I mean, it's the 2 Big 1 Peezy podcast. I mean, come on, baby.
That's something he had like 3 Red Bulls before we called him. Probably with some vodka in there.
I know we talked cocaine last. Whoa, never mind. All right, I got some. I want to take a different direction. I want to go all the way over to the West Coast in California, to none other than Pro Wrestling Gorilla. Now, I don't know if you guys are very familiar. Yeah, I don't know if you know about Pro Wrestling Gorilla, but they always got names on top of names and on top of names. So to close this hotline off, and I'm not going to charge you guys that much, maybe only $11.99, but anyways,
you said $1.79 when we started.
What's this guy crazy? I'm hanging up the goddamn phone right now.
You got 1 minute.
Okay,
That's it, Don. You better cut it off.
Right.
I can't afford this shit.
All right, now PWG has got this nice big event coming up, and it is called 16. The tickets go on sale June 20th, and the date for that is July 26th. Now, I want to run over some matches because, dude, the names are going to blow your mind. So here we go. We've got LAX, Ortiz and Santana take on the Rascals, Zachary Wentz and Desmond Xavier in a ladder match for the PWG World Tag Team titles.
Oh, wow, that's going to be
ladder
match. That's going to be great.
Yeah. Now, to keep it going, Brody King takes on one David Starr. Dude, that's going to be a killer. Now, Jungle Boy, you guys familiar with Jungle Boy?
Oh, yeah.
AEW?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, he's going against Joey Janela, the bad boy.
Bad boy.
Woo. All right, we're going to keep this going here. We got so many more. We got Black Taurus.
So many more.
Yeah. PWG debut teaming with Laredo Kid and Puma King to take on Bandito, Flamana, and Ray Horace. That's going to be crazy. Luchador everywhere. Okay.
Yes.
MJF. MJF, another one, baby. He's making his debut. MJF is making his PWG debut.
Wow, this guy's everywhere.
Yeah, against Darby Allin.
Oh, wow. Darby Allin just fought Cody Rhodes.
Trust falls.
Oh, the trust falls.
Two more, and I'm out of here, baby. All right. The Dark Order, which is made up of Stu Grayson and Evil Uno, formerly known as Super Smash Brothers, make their PWG return to take on Best Friends. That's going to be a killer.
The Best Friends.
All right. Now, holy crap.
Don, you all right?
This last one. Yeah. This last one involves...
You better not charge me for the full minute, Don.
Oh, come on. This last one involves another one of our hometown boys who's turned a little villain in ROH, and this is one Flip Gordon, and he is going to face Trey Miguel, and all of this is happening at 16 on July 26th, man.
Oh, man. Big news coming out of the indie scene this weekend.
Dude, I'm telling you, from here on out, I am spreading my wings far. I am spreading my wings wide. You guys are gonna... You're gonna hear stuff that you probably never even heard of.
Yeah, you're also spreading my dollar, Don. I'll talk to you next week, baby.
Keep flying, buddy.
This is the privileged TJ Howell III. And you're listening to the 2B Blunt Podcast with Peezy.
We're back on the 2B Blunt Podcast.
Wow.
In studio is the Scott.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The Scott is here. I have arrived. Guys, gentlemen, I'm happy to be here.
Of course, Frank Knox, co-host in studio also. We're going to be going into a big matchup we had this weekend. AEW versus Evolve. Now, WWE went ahead and directly ran counter-programming against Evolve, or I should say AEW. And that was, a ballsy move, but I thought it paid off pretty good. What was your thoughts on the shows overall, Frank?
I preferred I'm sorry. I preferred Evolve over AEW.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what for? What did you like more about that show?
Just the wrestling, the feel. It was in the original ECW arena in Philadelphia. The whole Paul Heyman segment was great.
That was really cool how he came out and dubbed the arena, the Evolve arena.
Fight for the Fallen. I don't really enjoy the stories. They don't really build any, and the matches were just kind of okay.
Well, you mean as Mario would say, you don't watch Being the Elite or whatever now?
I mean, I watched it. It wasn't that great. It was just a one-sided promo. The Road shooting on the Bucks, like we already talked about.
I hear you, Scott. What was what show did you prefer and why?
So I'd say both shows were great. Now I don't know if anybody else did this, but at the Scott's estate, what we did is we had two TVs set up same time, which I wish I would have had during the Monday Night War. But we had one TV AEW, one TV Evolve simultaneously. So it was kind of hard for me to choose because I kind of think more stuck with one. But I'd have to actually give it to AEW. I think maybe just the intriguement more. But then again, personally, I don't follow a lot of Evolve. With that being said,
did you watch it back?
So I didn't get a chance to watch it back.
All right.
There's too much wrestling on. There's 30 hours of wrestling every week.
Probably, if not more. God damn it.
So much content.
But what I do have to say though is I don't want to say anything bad about the Evolve talent because I was at I guess you could call it the first Evolve show, because this was their 10th anniversary. So 10 years ago, I was there at the ECW arena.
Wow. This is huge. This guy, of course he was.
I was there with Tim from New York. Shout out to Tim. I hope you're listening.
Oh, Tim.
And he is the one that convinced me to go to this show. It was the first ever Dragon Gate USA show, which was under the Evolve umbrella at the time. And it was at the world-famous ECW Arena, 2300 Arena. It was my first time there. And, yeah, it was in July of 2009, and it was hot as hell in there.
Oh.
You could swear on our show, Scott.
Yeah, it was hot.
We're the rebel. We are basically the ECW.
Yeah, exactly.
We're like the ECW of all podcasts, for Christ's sakes.
It was hot as fuck. I sweated my ass off. But the point I wanted to make, though, is at that show, at that Dragon Gate USA show under the Evolve umbrella, that was the first time I ever saw the Young Bucks wrestle. I didn't even know who they were. They blew my mind that night. They were in a match against SEMA and Dragon Kid, who are all people, obviously, now we see in AEW. So the talent that, if you did watch Evolve this past week, you know that you're going to see that talent. They're going to be making waves, probably not even 10 years from now, but from 5 to 10 years from now, these guys are going to be making they're going to be making a big splash on the wrestling world. So don't sleep on Evolve. I haven't watched it back yet. I will, but I will give all my credit, though, from what I watched to AEW. I thought that was a great show. For a mini pay-per-view.
I hated it.
I know. You said it was trash.
It was trash. What did you think?
Didn't you see like a poll online that said that people were favoring AEW, even though
everybody was? Yeah, I was upset about it. I even sent it to you. I was like, man, why are all these people following AEW, thinking it's the better show this weekend?
So that's another thing, and I don't know if it's because it was free on Bleacher Report versus the WWE Network. Although WWE Network, that's huge for Evolve, right? They got a bigger audience because of that. But if you looked at what was trending during that show, AEW Fight for the Fallen, #1 trend.
Well, no doubt they have the bigger product and they have the money behind it. With
That's
cons.
Right. But
so,
I gotta say, I agree with Frank. I agree with you, Frank. I liked Evolve, and I thought the WWE production that went into the AEW or the Evolve show made AEW look more like I was watching an episode of Impact.
I agree. The production is key to the product.
And let me go about something. How long was that AEW show? What time did the show end, Scott?
Maybe 11:30, midnight.
Yeah, it ended pretty late.
What time?
After midnight?
I think they still had a match and a half once Evolve ended. And I want to say they started before.
And
way before.
Right.
An hour
before. If you include the buy-in.
2 hours before.
All right. Now, how many times do you go online now for the past, I don't know, maybe a year, if not more, and you got all these Twitter warriors online crying because WWE shows run so long. You know what I mean? And everyone's complaining like WrestleMania ran until 12:30. Well, fuck, so did AEW Fight for the Fallen, and the show was fucking bullshit.
I agree.
It was bullshit. But did you hear the marks online, talking about that, complaining about AEW running for so goddamn long?
They've been upset for so long, so now they have something to run to. So all of them are running to the same product all at once.
Well, I like Evolve because I saw a lot of people I was familiar with. Now, in that opening contest with Josh Briggs and Anthony Green was a barn burner, bro. They tore the place down. And Austin Theory in the main event was great. And I just thought it was awesome. There's a lot of great wrestling, and I didn't need to think about much while I watched it, which I enjoyed. But AEW, I don't know, something about AEW I don't understand. Like, when I look at AEW, there's, they have a huge roster right now. They signed, 40, 50 people, whatever it might be. Now, they have a nice-sized roster now.
It's growing, yeah.
It's growing. And they have these main eventers, they have the John Moxleys, and then they have the Codys
and the Kenny Omegas.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, I feel like there's a giant gap, bro.
It's not a gap. It's literally a plateau, and it just goes down 1,000 feet. You're like falling to death.
Yeah, between them and the rest of the roster. So how many guys in the roster actually look, or have they built up that make me feel like they're going to be a possible #1 contender to a Chris Jericho or a Cody Rhodes?
Nobody, because they're doing these 4-man matches, these 6-man random superstar matches.
Okay,
I agree, because that's something that I think they do have to work on. When we watched the last official pay-per-view, Double or Nothing, right? We saw a lot of stuff happen, but we only really cared about those last 3 matches, right? Cody versus Dustin.
And the same thing that happened with Fyter Fest. Last 3 matches. And what happened this show?
Like 1 match. It was the Rhodes versus the Bucks.
So all I can say is at All Out, we'll have to revisit this, and we'll see from top to bottom, was it good? And if we watch all the shows every week, does it build each of the talent?
That's a key thing to see. But you know who they're not building properly? If you ask me, the guy who's supposed to fight Chris Jericho at All Out, and that's Hangman Page. Hangman Page.
Rob.
What the hell? That guy is supposed to be built to look like a superstar right now, and he had that match on Fight for the Fallen, which was like, okay, and then you had Jericho come out and shit on him.
Destroy him. Break his face with a code breaker. Probably broke his cheek.
Wasn't like, I feel like Hangman Page should have had a clear, decisive victory over whoever they put in the ring against him to build him up towards All Out. But what'd they do?
They injured him.
Scott?
I don't know. I think they got to go with the underdog story here. Get the fans behind him.
How can you get behind Hangman Page?
I couldn't. Every time I say his
how can you get behind Hangman
every
Page?
Time
I don't understand
hear his theme music, I think of the Little Nas X song, Old Town Road, or Red Dead Redemption. I'm going to take my horse to the
Listen, if you guys
road.
agree, please call into 860-384-7110. If you think Hangman Page looks like $1 million talent, I want to know. You know,
he's that $2 hollow.
You know who did look like $1 million though? Sean Spears. Did you see the interview with JR?
No, I didn't.
Did you see the interview with JR?
Unfortunately, I did not.
Oh my god! You know what? We can't even talk about this. All right. So they had a great thing where he talked about Cody Rhodes was in his inner circle. So he asked JR, and he's like, "Listen, he's like, how many people have you met down, your 40, 50 year career, and how many people are in like your inner circle? Is 10?" 5, 20,
of course,
whatever.
It's 10. He's Mr. 10, right?
No. He's asking JR this, and he's like, and he looks at JR, and JR's like, oh, I don't know, but maybe 5, 10, or whatever, about 10. And he looks at JR, and he's like 5. And he tells JR he's got 5. And he's like, and Cody was one of them. And he said, was one of them, right? And he's like, there's certain things you don't say to a person. And there's certain things in wrestling you don't say to a wrestler, right? Cody Rhodes, in a prior interview, when asked what they thought about Sean Spears, he said he's a good hand
to the king.
He's a good hand. You don't listen. I don't care if you were my best friend. If you were a wrestler, and I was a wrestler.
But when was this interview? Recently?
Yeah, they just had it. They just aired it, and he's talking about the chair shot. And he tells them, he's like, Cody used to be my friend, but now he wears a suit. He's treating him like he's the boss, like he's a boss. You know what I mean? And he tells JR,
they're pushing the envelope.
Yeah, so JR talks about how they're going to fight, and he said everybody knows. And he's like, but I got an ace up my sleeve. And who comes out and whispers in Sean Spears' ear? Tully fucking Blanchard.
No way.
Tully Blanchard of the Four Horsemen whispers something in his ear. Spears laughs, and then what happens? He goes to JR, like, JR, this interview's have to get cut right now. And then that was it. And they both got up and they walked away. And I was like, holy shit. You just put, see, now that's it. You just put Sean Spears on another level now. You turned him from someone no one really gave a shit about to putting him in the screen on the same frame with the former Horseman, Tully Blanchard.
I will say that's good use of Tully Blanchard. I mean, that was a key Dusty Rhodes rival back in the day.
I honestly didn't even know that Tully Blanchard was, in AEW or part of AEW.
Either.
You know?
No, I had no clue.
I know, like, this is, I didn't really expect to go
double
into this.
Breaking news.
Yeah, this is huge. I had to let you know.
So this really solidifies the
story
they're building.
You know it's going to be Cody.
It's going to go down.
And who? Maybe, who would Cody have in his corner, Scott?
I mean, I guess his brother?
Goldust?
Or
Are you going to say Magnum TA?
Or...
Who are you going to say?
Who else is in AEW that could be in his corner who's friends with his father? Arn Anderson, maybe?
Oh, wow, yeah.
And now you have
a horseman in each corner?
Are you going to have, right, that's what I'm wondering. Are we going to have Arn Anderson and Cody Rhodes versus Sean Spears with Tully Blanchard in his corner?
J.J. Dillon's got to be the ref, right?
That is something I would...
That's something I'd watch.
That's something I want to see. But that's what I'm saying. Like, there are glimpses.
That's a historic
There
moment.
are glimpses, but until that moment, I have not popped for a single AEW moment aside from Jon Moxley. That's it.
I agree.
And that's it. That's all I want to say about that.
I didn't even pop for Sean Spears.
I know what I'm going to watch as soon as this podcast is over.
Excellent. I'm glad. Let's talk about what else happened over the weekend. WWE
Extreme Rules.
Thank you, Frank. Finishing my sentences.
Extreme
I already like it.
Rules.
I like it. I like it. And what a show! It wasn't bad. I thought that the show.
But, the booking, the
here we
pre-show,
go.
Shinsuke, winning the title on the pre-show, no one even sees. No respect for the IC title around here.
Listen, I agree, man. I'm going to agree with you here.
What a way to put him down.
So I know we're all upset it was on the pre-show, but when we look back at it, when did it get decided that it was actually on the card at least that
2
day?
2 p.m. that day, but everyone knew it was happening.
Okay, so everybody knew it was happening, but do you see the roster they have? They spend so much money on all these guys that what are you going to do? Not everybody's going to be on the card. There was a ton of people that weren't on the card. Everybody saw Kevin Owens' tweet, right?
Yeah.
No, Billy Kidman and Mantar weren't even on the card. I wish they would have made that match.
He did. He had a big list of a lot of workers that were not on the card that should have been while Shane McMahon was. And he had some interesting choices on there. But, I don't know. That should never have been the case. Shinsuke, I'm glad that Shinsuke won the strap. All right? Don't get me wrong. I'm happy he won the strap. You know what I mean? But on a pre-show, bro, you put the IC title on the pre-show, it's like you just diminished, its worth.
Yeah, I totally agree.
All right, so out of every other match on Extreme Rules, what match would have you put on the pre-show then? Because the Cruiserweight Championship was already on the pre-show, which is as expected, right?
Kevin Owens versus Dolph Ziggler.
You would have put that one on the pre-show?
I would, because that
was 1, 2, 3. Was it 17 seconds?
I didn't even understand that.
Yeah, that was
their
their 17-second filler during the show. You can't count that. That was 17 seconds.
I'd rather see the coach talk. Shout out to the coach,
I mean, if you guys are talking about that on the pre-show, I want to hear what you're going to talk about with Undertaker curtain jerking over here.
Listen, all right, Scott, you are Scott, all right? I am a man with wrestling experience, okay? From a wrestler standpoint, okay? When you are the opener, that is not a bad thing.
That's right. That's a very good point.
All right? When you
if
are...
you're not the main event, you want to be...
the opener, because the crowd's going to be hot as hell, no matter what they throw out there. The crowd's always going to be hot the first match. You can almost literally do no wrong. So, I think...
That was a great choice. Yeah,
Undertaker probably got to pack up and go home afterwards, but what a great match. I thought that there was a lot of good stuff. Shane McMahon did a lot of, course, high spots per usual. Shane McMahon hit Undertaker with everything he's got. Did you see him drop the elbow? The outside, the floppy elbow. The floppy elbow to the outside was amazing.
Yes. Shane on the top rope.
That's right. What a big move. I mean, it was huge. It was huge, and then he wasn't even done.
He wasn't done yet.
He goes to the top rope.
Coast.
And what's he do before? Yeah, the Undertaker talk, baby. From the coast to coast.
Throat slash. McMahon from the top. Coast to coast.
Oh.
McMahon.
Trash can to face. I mean, it was... That match was fire from beginning to end.
From beginning, he looked great. He looked like $100 million.
And Scott, as the mastermind behind the wrestling, would you agree that the Undertaker washed the salty taste in his mouth from Super Shitdown?
I mean, the temperature was probably 40 degrees less than it was in Super Showdown, but he sure did. Undertaker put on a hell of a show on Sunday.
After he got hit with those 2 moves, though, he popped right back up.
Oh, he came back.
And then it was Chokeslam City.
It wasn't just Chokeslam City. It was Tombstone City, baby.
Middle of the ring. Tombstone pile driver.
That's right. 1, 2, 3. That was it. Undertaker gets his celebration. He looks great. He feels great. And I feel like, Undertaker could be back. Maybe we'll see him again at SummerSlam or Survivor Series.
Or at the very least, WrestleMania, right?
This is very true.
Well, remember, we didn't see him at WrestleMania this year, so who even knows?
I hope he's going to make one last run.
And then let's talk about the match that Frank thought was going to be match of the night, which very well might have as far as in-ring goes.
In-ring, it was good. It had its moments, but it didn't
we're talking
live
about
up to
Cesaro
versus Aleister
That's
Black.
right. Cesaro versus Aleister Black. Tell him.
Like I said, it lived up to its hype, but it wasn't as in-depth because I think, as we've seen on Raw, on SmackDown, that the rivalry between Cesaro and Aleister Black is not done.
You don't think it's done yet?
So I think it is done, but I think the reason why they did that rematch, does anybody remember my bold prediction from last week with Cesaro and Aleister Black?
No, I remember your main event prediction.
Yeah, everybody remembers that. We'll get to that later, but which was half true, I think. Anyway, but if we remember, Cesaro was showing off that mouthpiece, right, when he revealed himself to Aleister Black.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you noticed, right, he still lost to the Black Mass, but the mouthpiece didn't fly out. But surprisingly, in the rematch on Tuesday,
I did notice
it
that.
did. And I felt like WWE wanted that to happen, so that's why they did that rematch on Tuesday.
You think that they wanted it to happen at Extreme Rules?
Yeah, I think they wanted it to happen then. So if not, you always got that wild card route. You can do anything with a wild card, right? So
This is true.
That's why I think they did that on Tuesday.
I guess I'm just a little salty because I'm a huge Cesaro guy, and I hate to see him be used as a stepping stone yet again. But
I agree.
hey, life goes on. I thought they repackaged him. He was going to be.
They put him in that match we'll talk about on Raw. How he got an opportunity at the title.
At least he's top 10.
And let's move it on. Kofi and Joe had a good match, solid outing. Nothing really special to talk about from that match, but
the most important thing about, not just before we talk about Kofi Kingston, is the New Day.
The New Day?
Yes, it is. And
that's true. They got all the gold.
They got all the gold now.
They got all the gold. The New Day, all three.
They took the straps from Planet's champions, tag champions.
You know what? And I will say, I wasn't expecting that match to be good. I wasn't having any expectations looking into that, and that match was great.
Big E is great. He's money. Everything he puts his hands on, and the dude walks down the ring, and he's money.
That's true. You know what else was money? I'll tell you what. I know I skipped over. It was Lashley and Strowman. Lashley and Strowman,
that
the
was
biggest of big man battles.
That's another one I think fans had low expectations with, but that absolutely
How could you have
delivered.
low expectations after the stunt they pulled on Raw a couple weeks ago?
I only expected something greater, and I was happy that we received it.
And we got one hell of a finish. We got that crazy finish from Strowman.
Oh, he ran through the wall like he was, RoboCop Terminator?
He ran through the wall. He puts Lashley on his shoulders.
Yeah.
He's standing in, what would you call them, the stands? The stands, Scott?
Stand, sure.
The stands.
But they fought through the
elevated
back,
stairs.
the concessions, everywhere.
Yeah. Then he puts him on his shoulders. He gives him the power slam off of the rafters. It was amazing. I've never seen nothing like it.
Are you kidding me? Power slam!
And it was amazing. It was amazing. And, and let's, the main event is really what we've got to talk about, though, before we go any further. Because I'm getting ready for a smoke break, I think. I think Frank already jumped the gun.
It's all right.
It's all right. Let's talk about Rollins and Becky versus Corbin and Evans.
Sadly, my prediction didn't come true. We didn't see the breakup. I didn't get to
I told you that wasn't going to happen, though. I told you. You were confident. You were so confident, bro.
The asshole is me, I guess.
I wouldn't go that far. But, Scott he made a bold prediction, and I didn't get any Sable bombs on Sunday.
You're disappointed you didn't get the breakup, but I'm disappointed I didn't get a Sable bomb.
He didn't get the Sable bomb.
You were half right, though.
Yeah, well, kind of. I mean, he didn't come in during the match. He cashed it in after the match. But if Brock Lesnar's cashing in, you ain't walking away with the title. The only one walking away with the title is going to be Brock Lesnar.
And this is true. And I mean, that's what happened. Brock Lesnar, he came in and he gave...
An F5!
An F5!
An F5! Covered by Lesnar! Hook on the leg! Lesnar's the champion!
Lesnar, new WWE Universal Champion, and the marks run wild online.
They are so upset.
I'd say they're split, but I mean,
And
you
now
even heard
they're
it
ready
in the
to go
crowd.
to AEW.
I almost
quicker.
wish that we had Bill Bungie this week, because I know that'd be like one of his top stories.
Yeah, why? Bill's not calling in this week?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe
He
not.
just said he wasn't calling in. I don't know.
Oh, well, he said it's a possibility.
Let's just ask the question real quick. Why do people hate Brock Lesnar? Because he's
don't
not
know.
there every week?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
that's
exactly
That's
it. That's it.
And it's
Because
a
otherwise
stupid
he's a
reason.
star. I think at the end of the day, Brock Lesnar, when his career is all said and done, will be on the Mount Rushmore.
You think so? That is a bold statement.
I think he's already has a reason to be up there right now.
I mean, he's accomplished a lot, and he doesn't need every week to do it.
He accomplished a lot is an understatement, Scott. It's an understatement. That guy has done amateur wrestling.
Yeah.
He's done pro
Champion.
wrestling.
Champion.
Yep,
He's done
NCAA
MMA.
Champion.
UFC.
Champion.
It doesn't matter what he's done because he's going to be what, Frank?
The champion.
That's right, Scott. Straight edge won't even smoke my weed.
What the fuck you doing
God
there?
damn it.
It's because you won't
If you
let me.
can't recognize Brock Lesnar.
Scott, we tried to pass it to you and you started crying.
That's not true.
All right. All right.
Oh, well, in that case, Scott, here you go. Oh, the Scott. Join in the group.
He may fall asleep.
I hope not.
Anyways,
another big moment in that match that I thought was really cool was when Corbin hit Becky Lynch with the end of days. I think that maybe that part could have been a sliver of a light towards WWE doing more intergender stuff. And I'm not talking mixed tag matches. I'm talking intergender.
Yeah,
you know?
it's going to happen. It's going to happen soon. You already see the buildup of that. And then, I hope we don't see a man hit his wife. But I'm almost
we saw that big end of days from Corbin.
Unceremoniously back to the outside. Whoa. Oh, God, end of days! End of days!
And you heard it right there, end of days. And, Becky, who I honestly thought should have really sold that move for her. I think, at the end of the day, I think Becky should have been out completely, 100% the whole time, right up until the end of the show. I think she should have sold it like it was super devastating, but she was like sitting on the outside, holding her arm or her shoulder because she was selling that shit like she always does.
Well, I think they had to do something. She had to be out of commission because if she wasn't, what if she stood up to Brock Lesnar?
That's what I was thinking.
I'll tell you, she should have been more out of commission after taking that move.
No way. She didn't even try to defend her man.
Or maybe she faked it then. Maybe she faked it. Maybe she faked it with Rollins. That's something for another issue.
I think that she should have.
But maybe she didn't want to face Brock.
I just think that
who would you want to face Brock Lesnar?
Listen, you got one of the first times in a long time that a man lays like a move on a woman. I feel like the sell should have been longer, and to the point that where Rollins was done, got beat by Brock, and looks up to find Becky still out on the outside. And that I feel like that would have sold the moment more.
I get what you're saying. But the thing though is, it seems WWE's been pushing the envelope lately, right?
Oh, of course, yeah. Well, because who's the helm of Raw,
They're trying to
right? So Heyman's in. Did he officially start this week? Last week? Next week? Who knows?
Last week,
he announced it this week.
Yeah, he did say that he was in charge. He made reference to that.
He said everyone's Brock's pitches now.
Oh well, we're gonna go into that. I love that. That was great.
So anyway, what I want to point out though is that we heard Baron Corbin, right? He said shit after he said to Seth Rollins, "You ain't shit." Now, granted, they blurted out, but he wouldn't have said that if they weren't going this envelope pushing route right now. So
yeah,
it seems we're taking a turn back to the Attitude Era, perhaps.
Well,
I think we will, because even AEW is putting up just as controversial shit. Yeah. WWE is stepping their game up. We may have a new Monday Night War brewing.
So does WWE feel threatened by AEW?
I think they know they have to adapt to evolve.
But I don't feel like they feel threatened, because I told you the other week that Vince McMahon is not worried in the least bit. He knows that his show and his ratings are down, but I don't think he still considers AEW the cause.
No.
Well, we'll see come September, October.
The product has been the cause, and now they're making the switch, and here we go.
Yeah, for sure. Well, let's take a smoke break real quick, because I've been talking a lot of wrestling already. I want to go into Raw and SmackDown when we get back, but first, let's take a smoke break.
Peezy. Oh, shit, good looking, yo. How about that dirty version, Peezy? You already know. It's tight. Everywhere I go, you want your Peezy's, boy? Chill, man. No waste. He's pushing weight. Oh, man. Told you that shit finna blow, man. Man, fuck everybody. All them haters on you back in the day. They all riding your dick now. But that's enough of that.
Yeah.
Seriously. That's enough. Seriously. Man, tell them who this shit's for. Them non-drinkers. Them non-smokers. Them non-sippers. Fuck you. Fuck you, bitch.
Yeah, it's the hippie, Dickie Moon, man. It's time to sit back, relax, and chill. You're tuned into the 2B Blunt podcast with Frank Knox and Peezy. Peace.
We're back on the 2B Blunt podcast. The Scott in studio.
That's right.
And we're going to go into a little Raw and SmackDown.
2 Blunts deep.
2 Blunts deep. Yeah, we just
on the 2B Blunt podcast.
That's right. And that's probably why, we just got lost on break there.
Yeah, 2B Blunt. Man, that was a trip down memory lane.
I know, right?
Yeah, but
Peezy 2 Blunts.
Peezy 2 Blunts.
Peezy 2 Blunts. So let's talk about Monday Night Raw. You know, we got the big intro with Paul Heyman coming out with
Brock Lesnar. Yeah.
That's right.
Who else? He comes out, calls everyone. You know, everyone's now Brock's bitches. Says he's back. He's in charge. You know. His first public reference of him running the show.
He really did. He called them Brock's bitches. It was amazing.
Oh, Brock's bitches.
Oh, man. I loved it. It was a great cut, you know, the great intro to Raw.
Yeah, and they announced the big main event of who Brock Lesnar is going to face at SummerSlam.
That's
10-man
right.
Battle Royal.
The 10-man. What was the whole name? I forgot.
The 10-man All-Star Battle Royal.
Oh, thank you, Scott.
No, there was more than that. Yeah, it was like, wasn't it like the inter-promotional All-Star?
Inter-promotional, wild card, or whatever you want to call it.
It was cross-promotional.
That's right. It was the cross-promotional.
Oh, it was just cross-promotional? That's right. If it was All-Star,
cross-promotional Battle Royal for number one contendership.
All right.
At SummerSlam.
If it was otherwise, it would have been Billy Kidman and Mantar could have been in it then, huh?
I mean, yeah, this is also very true. So, they had a lot of good stuff to happen on Raw. We had the Revival and Bobby Roode teaming together, baby.
Finally
teaming together.
back. I loved it.
I loved not just seeing Bobby Roode, but I really saw some potential for the three of those guys to have their own little, you know, like stable, like Bobby Roode and the Revival, the new Revival where they wear the nice shirts and the sunglasses, you know, and then Bobby Roode goes back to the Bobby Roode of NXT when he was wearing, you know, the $1 million suits and shit.
Just don't get rid of that mustache, Bobby. Don't get rid of that mustache.
No, I don't think he ever would. But they kind of remind me of what could be like a new age evolution.
That would be cool.
You know what I mean? Just throw one more guy in there, and you got the
Who are you going to throw
team.
in there? Who's the last guy you'd throw in there?
Ooh, that's a good one, Scott. If we're going to make a new age evolution with Bobby Roode and the Revival, who would be the fourth man?
I mean, I got to go quick here, huh?
I almost stumped the Scott, guys.
Yeah, this could be a stump the Scott. I don't know. You know what? Maybe to give somebody some elevation, a new and improved. I'm gonna say Kurt Hawkins.
Kurt Hawkins.
I know, out of the box, right? I don't know.
That's a little out of the
you
box.
You put me on the spot. You put the Scott on the spot.
If that's what happens, we're in trouble with you. If you call in to stump the Scott,
my answer is going to be Kurt Hawkins.
We're in trouble. If you guys want to call in and try to stump the Scott, 860-384-7110.
And if I say Kurt Hawkins, I'm probably wrong. That means you stumped me.
Frank Knox. Who would you put in the New Age Evolution?
As the lead, would he be the leader, or would he?
No, he would be like the fourth member. You know,
but
I think Bobby Roode would be the leader.
Bobby Roode would be.
Yeah, and then you have the Revival. And it's like you got to have another singles guy, right?
Yeah,
or a singles girl. I mean, or woman, I should say. I stumped the Frank too.
Stumped the Frank.
You know what though? If they really recall,
I initially was thinking you put Adam Cole and be the leader, and he just comes in and.
All right, hear me out, guys. This is what it's going to be. The New Age Evolution would be leader Bobby Roode, tag team the Revival, and the newly repackaged
drumroll
$100
suit wearing, sunglasses wearing, the best goddamn wrestler. In WWE today.
What do we got?
Chad Gable.
Oh,
wow.
You know what? I could see Gable.
He would be like the Randy Orton of the group. That's how I would picture it.
He's got that history with Robert Roode, right? Former tag team champs.
That's right. That's what I mean. Exactly.
But I never understood their history together, too. I hated when they
they obviously just threw them together like they do when they run out of shit to do.
Well, I mean, even Gable and Benjamin, we didn't understand either, right?
Yeah, this is true.
We still don't understand Benjamin.
I know.
Is that what he's thinking about all the time? Is that what he's thinking about?
It might be.
He's got to be thinking about something.
Might be.
You know what else? I really keep running him.
Sorry.
My
bad, bro. My bad.
No, I'm sorry.
I had a question. To tell you what else I liked about Raw? I think because I talked to you about this before, I wanted to bring it up.
Yeah, what is it?
It's going to be the new pre-match promos they do.
Those are great, and they just intertwine.
You seen that, Scott? You notice how they started doing these pre-match promos where as the guy's music's hitting right before his music. Jesus Christ. Sorry, I'm not religious, so. Who's calling on the 2B Blunt podcast? Hold on, let's select who it is. Hello, you're on the 2B Blunt podcast.
Hey, I'm here to stump the Scott.
Oh,
wait a second. You're here to stump the Scott?
Yeah, that's what I'm about to do.
All right.
Anyways,
hold on. Let's talk about this real quick before you go ahead. You know, we got to keep this in line with what's going on. You have a question in mind already, or can I give you a theme?
No, I'm going to just ask what I ask, and if I stump him, I stump him.
I don't like your attitude.
Yeah,
I don't like that attitude, you know? This is my show. This is my goddamn show. This is Frank Knott's goddamn show.
Yeah, that was the same guy they called before. Frank.
Frank Crotch?
Yeah,
Frank. It was the same guy?
Yeah.
How dare you call in?
With an attitude.
Yeah, being
he's still
pissy.
Here? He's still here or you hung up on him?
I hung up on him. Listen.
I want to know what the challenge is going to be.
I just want to know. Well, if you want
I just want to let everybody know out there, I'm not scared.
If he didn't want to be a dick, but this guy called in acting like a dick no reason,
He got aggressive. He said, I called in and I'm going to ask what I want. That's it.
What do you mean aggressive, bro? Like, I just smoked a blunt and a half. There ain't no aggressive shit right now. Not allowed. If you're calling into the 2B Blood podcast, please don't be aggressive. We chilling right now. We're having an enlightened conversation. Let's talk about Raw. I don't want to get off track. You got me all pissed off now cutting promos, goddammit. If you think you can cut a better promo than me, you know what? I tell you what. If you're still listening, goddammit, I tell you what. This is what's going to happen. If you think you're a smartass, all right? If you think you're better than me, I'll give you this. You call in and you cut a better promo than Peezy, and by God, I will let you ask any goddamn question you want to the Scott. But until then, and only until then, you will keep your mouth shut, and my show will continue to ride off into the clouds.
Hey.
And if you ain't about that,
we got 2 words for you.
That's not what I was going to say. The joke's on you.
Speaking of,
you know what? We should go into this. Yeah. Speaking of this, you know, I have a little an issue.
Speaking of that, I was watching Raw and I saw Cedric Alexander use your gimmick.
A.K.A. Gary the Goat.
No, it wasn't even when he was Gary.
No, this was Cedric in the back. He had his glasses on, everything. He even took them off.
Yeah.
When he took
he ran my tagline against Drew
McIntyre.
Yeah, the joke's on you. The son of a bitch went ahead and ran my tagline. And I'm pissed. Now that you bring that up, I'm pissed, goddammit. Now everyone's getting me all fired up. My blood pressure's going through the roof. You know? Cedric Alexander, you must be watching me. Because I saw you on Raw say, the joke's on you. Well, goddammit, the joke ain't going to be on me. It will be on you. I've been using that tagline for years.
I can account for it.
For years. I have proof. I got all kinds of proof of, me cutting the promos and finishing off the joke's on you. This son of a bitch think he knows what he's talking about. This is from at least, when's the last Battlefront show we went to?
Man, that
3
was
months ago?
3 months ago.
3 months ago?
Yeah.
This is a promo I cut leading up to my appearance at Battlefront, where I was in a battle royal for #1 contendership for the goddamn world title. And this is how it's done.
My name is Slade Dangerfield, and I get no respect. We are a mere 24 hours out from Battlefront Pro Wrestling presents No Turning Back. Now, I'm not going to sit here like these other clowns and swear and try to be cool, because that's not what I do. What I will do is tell you this. Tomorrow night, I will walk right in to Battlefront. I will step right inside that ring, and I will throw every single superstar that gets in my way out over the top rope, because I will secure my shot at Ty Shine in that Battlefront Pro Wrestling Championship. Now, I know all of you out there probably saying, ooh, Slade Dangerfield, he hasn't done anything in a while. What the hell is he going to do? Well, I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm going to do. It doesn't matter if you're Yusev or Yosev or Pyramids of Power or the Filthy Family, Big Cal Stevens. It doesn't matter. All that matters is when the dust settles and the smoke clears, I will be your Battlefront Pro Wrestling Champion. If you don't believe me, the joke's on you.
And that's all the proof you need, goddammit.
Yo, man,
that's it.
Calm down, man.
What do you mean, calm down?
Yeah, man, calm down. It's all right. Let's just continue to show you. You said your blood pressure is going to rise, Let's calm down.
Mad, yo. That was my idea. That was my line.
I just hope Cedric doesn't talk about respect next week.
Yeah, but Bray Wyatt, you know,
I need a
he
second.
showed up this
Let's
week.
talk about the Fiend, huh?
You seen the Fiend show up?
We didn't know when it was going to happen. It happened this past Monday.
And it happened to the Demon.
Well,
Finn
it didn't happen to
Balor.
the Demon. It happened to the man. But a demon could be coming out of this, but we'll see. But I gotta say though, what's
going to happen?
As lifelong wrestling fans, right? We clamor for originality, and for the Fiend to come out, this whole Firefly Funhouse, right? Never been done before in wrestling. Never seen anything like it, right? So I gotta say though, the lighting effect was really cool. I mean, he didn't get on the microphone or anything, but he got in there. You know, he did the Sister Abigail to Finn Balor, and I gotta say, I really like the lighting effects of it. It was
The
lights out, but then the
sounds,
flashing,
just the flashing.
Yeah,
It was just a trance. There was a visual and sound trance. It was like, here we go. We got the clip. Peezy pulled it up. I don't know where he went. He's all fired up though. Still
pacing back and forth.
Yeah, you're all right, man. You're pacing. You're pacing back and forth.
I'm upset right now.
We weren't ready for the clip.
Listen, I don't know what to tell you. You know what? The clip just plays. That's not my bag, goddammit.
I think Peezy might have to go to Firefly Funhouse.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, man, go ahead.
I'm just angry right now, you know? I'm angry.
So what are we going to do? You want to call somebody maybe to see if we have you been, what are you Googling over there? Lawyers?
I'm trying to, listen, I'm trying to find I'm supposed to have this, phone number of this guy I know. He's a lawyer, and I thought I had his phone number, and I'm trying to go through Google and check my phone, and, God damn it, his name was Richard E. Stone, Esquire. This guy is supposed to be an amazing lawyer. I've known him for a while. I'm going to call him. I think I found his number right here.
Let's give him a call,
Let's give this guy a call, man. I got to see what's going on. We're going to call Richard E. Stone. I'm going to see if I can get some money for this. I want to get paid.
You deserve it. It was your tagline.
He's got Esquire in his name, so he can make it happen.
Well, let's find out.
Good evening. You've reached the law office of Richard E. Stone, Esquire, where we have a firm grip on your legal matters. How may I direct your call?
Hello? Rich? Is that you?
I'm sorry, sir. This is his secretary. Mr. Stone is currently occupied with a client. May I take a message?
A message? What? Listen, I was told by Mr. Stone personally that this was his direct line. I need you to tell Mr. Stone that Peezy, a.k.a. Mr. Dangerfield, is on the line with a very pressing matter, and I need his attention immediately.
I'm sorry, sir. Please hold.
I can't believe they put me on hold. What is this shit? Hey! Hello? God damn it! Someone pick up the phone! Hello? What the hell's going on, Frank?
Mr. Dangerfield? Mr. Stone said he'll have to call you back. Would you like to leave a message or have me transfer you to his voicemail?
Voicemail? You tell Mr. Stone that Peezy, a.k.a. Slade Dangerfield, is on the line with something that can make us both a boatload of money.
All right. Please hold, sir.
Can you believe that chick put me on hold again?
I can't believe it, man. I thought you said you knew this guy.
I can't believe it. That lady just put me on hold.
I thought you had a direct number.
This is supposed to be a direct line to his cell phone.
You must have got the wrong number, bro.
Dude, I don't know what's going on here. I'm getting real pissed.
Mr. Dangerfield, I'm going to transfer you to Mr. Stone now.
It's about damn time. But I'm on hold again? What the hell? I can't believe this shit. Wow.
You've reached the law offices of Richard E. Stone, Esquire. Richard E. Stone, Esquire speaking. How may I be of service?
God damn it, Rich. This is Peezy calling you. I thought that I had the direct number of your cell phone, man. I'm paying you tons of money. And I get your secretary that picks up and tells me that you were busy, and I had to force her to put me through to you.
Oh, Mr. Dangerfield. How are you this afternoon?
Oh, all right.
This guy's got jokes.
This guy's got jokes. You know what? I'm not doing very good. I'm going to tell you why. I was watching Raw the other night, and this guy, Cedric Alexander, went out there and stole my gimmick, ripped off my tagline, and now I want to sue for gimmick infringement.
Okay, Mr. Dangerfield. First thing I'm going to need you to do is I'm going to need you to calm down, okay? Mr. Richard
Calm
Easton
down.
Esquire does not listen to people who take a tone with him.
Come on, Peezy, calm down.
I'm sorry. All
Okay?
right. You're right.
You pay
You're
me
right.
good money, Mr. Dangerfield. I expect to be treated with respect.
Damn it. God damn it. He's right. Look, his lines are blowing up
Yeah,
over here.
His phone's ringing off the hall.
They're ringing off the hook. All right,
Now
I'm sorry.
listen.
You're right.
Someone who has no respect seems to be Mr. Alexander. Am I correct?
Yes, absolutely. You got no respect.
Huh. Okay. And we don't like people who have no respect. In fact, I don't take too kindly to people who don't respect my clients. So
Oh.
here's what we're going to do.
All right.
We got some options, okay?
All right.
I can call Tony. We can take Mr. Alexander out on a boating trip if you're picking up what I'm putting down.
I'm liking this. All right, live listening.
Or I can call old VKM myself and give him a little cease and desist.
Ooh, the old classic cease and desist.
I like
like it.
calling Uncle Tony, you know? What do you think, Peezy?
I don't know. It's whatever he recommends.
Well, I'd say we'd save the muffle for later. Let's try the diplomatic route.
All right, you really think I got a chance here against, you're going to talk about Vincent Kennedy McMahon? You're going to call him firsthand? You think I got a chance? Because I'm
You
pissed
got
right
Richard
now.
Eastone Esquire. You got Richard Eastone Esquire on your side, okay? You got law and order on your side, pal.
That's right. See, law and order. That's what I'm talking about. I told you, Frank.
Wow,
this is the guy to call.
This is the guy to call.
Richard Eastone Esquire.
Seems like he has your best interest in mind.
Oh, I always have my client's best interest at heart.
Well, God damn it, Rich. Well, you think we could work out some kind of deal this time?
Oh, you know what? I think we might be able to work something out. I'll tell you what.
All right, I'm listening.
I'll have my people call your people, all right?
What?
It's the highest motherfucking podcast around. To be blunt.
With Peezy.
Can you believe that guy? He just hung up in my face.
Hopefully he gives us a call back.
I don't think.
I do really think he knows, Vincent Kennedy.
I don't know. He knows a guy named Tony, and that scares me.
Yeah, me too.
Should have called that McDivitt.
All right, let's move it on. This show's far from over. If you want to call in, 860-384-7110. Let's talk about SmackDown. And
this is supposed to be day one of the Bischoff era. Right?
No, Bischoff was not there this week. He's actually supposed to scheduled, to start next week, from what I hear.
All right.
Yeah,
I think he's driving cross country, moving to our neck of the
yeah.
woods.
I actually just saw him, I think, on Twitter or something with his dog driving up, across
from bumfuck Wyoming,
crossing the Colorado River.
Maybe.
And
Who the hell knows? It's possible.
I went through the Colorado, the Mississippi, and now I'm here in Connecticut. No, but hopefully he gets here soon. We all want to see that. But yeah, so SmackDown.
So SmackDown was straight. You had the big town hall.
First ever.
Well, yes,
supposedly.
It was the first ever
town hall.
And that was interesting, I guess. They had Kevin Owens and a bunch of other people speak of. Liv Morgan, who got some airtime, which I couldn't believe. I was excited about this. See, I like Liv Morgan, I don't know. That she got the Harley Quinn thing going on.
The blue tongue.
Yeah.
There was a clip on Twitter. I don't know if you guys saw. She got real emotional after she was on the mic. When the next person started talking, she was a little teary-eyed. I think that she actually got time on SmackDown.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I didn't see that.
She
I
just
saw
had
her
time.
after
She had
the
a
match
match.
on the.
Yeah.
I saw her after the match on the mic.
Yeah, she just had a match. It was great.
And she was on the mic after. It looked like she may repackage herself or something. You were right. I'm going to come back or something, right, Liv Morgan?
Yeah, absolutely. And she had a great match for Charlotte. I absolutely thought she put on a good showing, and hopefully that at the end it looked like maybe she's going to get a little repackaging,
Yeah.
She was going to get taken more serious. And I was like, oh, Liv Morgan's going to get taken serious.
We'll see. She's going to have to lose the blue tongue, though.
I don't care. That doesn't bother me,
It's all right with me. She can keep it.
I definitely didn't understand Daniel Bryan and how he came out 4 or 5 times and literally said nothing after they hyped his big announcement.
I guess the New Day took his shine. He came out while they were in the ring. They offered him a rematch at the titles.
What did you think his announcement was going to be?
I had no idea. Maybe that he was, no longer the planet's champion.
Who knows?
Okay.
Daniel Bryan announcements usually involve retirement, though. So
yeah, that's what I initially thought. But when I saw the post Extreme Rules interview when he was all deranged,
right,
he looked like he was going to do whatever he had to do to get where he needed to be next.
Yeah, it looked exciting, and then we got nothing.
Yeah, this is true. It was a weird SmackDown. SmackDown consistently has been
Maybe he'll be the next member of Evolution.
Ooh. Okay. Okay. We got Ember Moon and Bayley going to SummerSlam. I don't feel like it's a bad match. I think it's good that Ember Moon got a little time. She deserves it. She's great. She's a great talent. She's got the finishing move that everybody pops for.
Great finisher.
It was her time.
I'm
Scott,
very
what's
happy,
the name? Help me out here.
Very happy for Ember Moon here.
Scott, what's the name?
What are you talking about? Oh, the name of the move?
Yeah.
The Eclipse.
Thank you.
The Eclipse.
There you go.
That top rope stunner.
I
But
couldn't
anyway,
stump him this time.
But I'm very excited for Ember Moon, but I got to say, I'm very surprised the way this company runs. I'm surprised that Charlotte does not have this match at SummerSlam.
It's refreshing not to see for once.
It is
in my
refreshing.
opinion.
Yeah. I'm just
Ember Moon,
surprised.
she deserves it.
Yeah.
And
this is
she's
true.
getting it. It'll be a great match between probably the two of the best female wrestlers in WWE right now, Bayley and Ember Moon. I mean, they're on everyone's top 5.
It's
Right?
about time they start giving Ember Moon, a little more feature on the shows because she got an original look to her, and I think that she's really good, really good. I love the whole promo that was leading up to the 6-man. When they had the New Day and then Randy Orton out there on the sides.
Oh yeah,
And this guy's out there,
They
and
all
they told
called
him,
him out
yeah, they
for
all
the-
called
yeah.
him out for the match.
Yeah.
And Randy Orton just stops and looks at him. He's like, "Nah, bro."
I'm good.
And I popped.
And
I
he
popped
walked
for
away,
it.
yeah.
Something so simple. We obviously ended up getting the match at the end of the show, which was straight. Kofi still picked up.
But he pinned Kofi Kingston.
This is
Randy Orton looked dominant.
Well, you're
Not
right.
only in
You're
that
right. You're right.
promo,
I don't
but
know
he
why I
came
thought
through
that.
So it's pretty obvious,
Yeah.
right? Orton, Kofi, SummerSlam?
SummerSlam.
But that's what I want. I love it.
And
That's
there's
what
a
I want.
lot of history there.
And Orton's been getting pops ever since he's been back.
I was hoping Orton was going to win on
the
Monday.
10-man. I was hoping that as well.
I was hoping it was going to be Orton and Lesnar because that would have been huge. Bro.
That'd be a match we'd want to see. Right?
Yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, honestly, they probably
have
could
they
have
wrestled, Scott?
If you just rewind to SummerSlam 3 years ago, yeah, that match already happened at SummerSlam
wow.
in the main event. You guys don't remember when Orton got?
And this is why we have the Scott.
Orton got his head busted open. He got however many staples in his head from the elbow. And that's the one that Jericho didn't know if it was a work or not. So then he got in a tussle with Lesnar backstage.
Yes, you're right.
All right, I'll stop telling
That's
you.
why we have.
No, this is good. That's why you're here. Yeah, that's what we need. The fact checker. But yeah, so that's going to be a nice build-up. I'm down to see Orton back in the main event. You know what I mean? I'm 100% ready. And I thought also that the Apollo Crews Andrade match was very good.
It was nice to see both of them.
Yeah, Apollo, and I was really surprised that Apollo got the win, which was surprising how decisive he got the win too, because I thought that they were building Andrade up.
And it's crazy. He got a win real quick on SmackDown this week, and then he lost to Kushida on NXT this week.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. I mean, I thought that they could have gone about that finish a different way, because it helped obviously put Apollo Crews over and upped his worth, right? His stock. Thank you, Scott.
But what are they going to really do with Apollo Crews at the end of the day? They've had him for how long? They've done nothing with him.
That's what I'm worried about, bro. That's what I'm saying.
He's got the, he's got the girl, the side piece with him.
Yeah, I don't know, bro.
Bill Bungie loves her.
I mean, he might have to reform Titus Worldwide to get his stock back up.
Well, whatever it's got to be. Moving on, Owens and Ziggler got the rematch, and they actually went longer than 17 seconds, which was, impressive. We actually got a real match this time, which I don't understand why we just didn't get that at the pay-per-view.
Yeah, I didn't make sense for it to happen on Tuesday.
No, it didn't.
What really didn't make sense is just the stunners, I mean, they were pretty bad. They were pretty botched, I thought.
Nothing worse than the worst McMahon bump of all time was
Yeah.
the stunner Stone Cold gave to Linda at Raw Homecoming, I think 2005, if anybody remembers that out there.
Oh, actually,
Raw
I didn't.
2005.
Jesus.
Oh, wow.
Well, you got all the stuff. See, this is how it's going to go. Scott's got all the
but
facts.
Could we see this coming Monday at Raw Reunion? Could we see double McMahon stunners
I'm
from
thinking
Austin
so.
and Owens?
I'm thinking it's got to happen. You've
That's
got to
gotta
have
happen.
something with Stone Cold and Kevin Owens because you're building this whole
happen.
thing to be exactly like Stone Cold versus Vince. They're trying to rehash, the magic they had back in the day, which is interesting because Kevin Owens when he hits the stunner, All right. Every time he hits the stutter, I think to myself, are the people popping for him? Or are they giving him like are they excited to see the move because it's so, or
are they vicariously popping for Stone Cold?
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
I think it's a combination of all three, actually, to be honest.
I mean, it could be, but he has that nice pop-up power bomb, bro. It's a sick move.
It is great.
I loved it.
And when you come back from an injury, I guess you gotta reinvent yourself somehow, some way. So the stunner is what Kevin Owens has done. My question is going to be though: is this Monday? Does he drink a beer with Stone Cold? Because Kevin Owens isn't a drinker. He doesn't drink.
How do you not?
But I think he has to make an occasion.
So he doesn't drink at all. 100%.
I don't know. He might be straight edge like Punk. I don't know, but I just know he doesn't drink. So what's going to happen?
I mean, he could drink a beer. All he has to do is do a Stone Cold style. Just make it pour out of his mouth down his chin.
Just drink like 20% of it.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, the Raw reunion will be awesome, and I hope we do see a moment like that. And I also hope that next week on SmackDown we get the introduction of Eric Bischoff to the show, and maybe see a little change to the show, because I felt like both weeks since Heyman took over Raw, the show has been consistently on the lower end. Fact or not?
I agree.
I agree.
Big fucking facts.
And I think I want to say Paul Heyman is probably actually not looking forward to this Monday's Raw. He's gone on record before as saying that he doesn't. He wants to start fresh, right? Start with new talent. Kind of a lot like what AEW is doing, to be honest with you. But for him to, if he's officially running Raw now, and he's got, we saw the commercial. There's 25, 30 names, and they just keep getting named by the day. I think today Melina just got named. So they got to find a spot for all these people on the show, right? So how much is that going to take away from what Paul Heyman wants to accomplish and, the talent that wants that airtime? We're going to see a lot of people not on TV next week to make room for all these legends, which I'm not upset with. We all love nostalgia, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Forget it. This guy don't even listen to me. I'm with you. You know what? We're gonna hope for better show next week, and hopefully
I think
you're
we're
right.
gonna get it. I think
we might get it. But let's go into our we're gonna do our newest segment here. We're gonna do what we're gonna call the Frank Knox Top 5. Frank's gonna name off his top 5 from 5 to 1, and we're gonna go through it after and see what our opinions are in there to see if me and the Scott agree with him.
All right, let's
let it off. It's the Frank Knox Top 5.
Frank Knox Top 5. Frank Knox Top 5. Frank Knox Top 5. Frank Knox Top 5.
It's the Frank Knox Top 5.
Yeah!
Frank Knox, let's hear it. What are the top 5 for this week? Start from number 5.
Number 5, I got Shinsuke winning the IC title. I got number 4, I got Roman Reigns. Number 3, I got Seth Rollins. Number 2, I got the whole New Day. And number 1, I got none other than the new heavyweight champion, Brock Lesnar.
Wow. Big names for the first top 5 Frank Knox. Scott, what'd you think about that?
You know what? That top 5, it looks pretty accurate to me. I'd agree with every single one of those.
Look at that. Really? You agree with every single one of those?
I'd agree with every single... people are going to shit on Brock Lesnar being on the top of the list, but, he cashed in Money in the Bank. He won the title.
Fashion.
All right.
Come on.
All right, but where's The Undertaker?
The Undertaker, he had one match. I had to put... It was either him or Roman Reigns, but Roman Reigns won the ESPY, Hobbs and Shaw premiered. He had more of a bigger week.
You think he had the bigger week?
In all professional wrestling.
Okay.
Right? He had the first ever moment of the year, wrestling moment of the year.
Okay.
And then he had the premiere of his new movie.
This is great. I mean, all right. I mean, I'll let it go.
Right?
You're right. I mean...
you would put... That was my decision.
All right, Peezy, who do you put in your top 5?
All right. It doesn't matter my top 5. This is Frank Knox's top 5. But I will tell you what would be in my top 5 is some things that he didn't mention. One would be Bray Wyatt. I thought that his debut and the pop he got, the building was like erupted. The place went nuts. And I thought it was a powerful moment. And I thought Bray Wyatt would have been in the top 5, but he definitely would have been in my top 5.
Which one of my top 5 would you guys remove? If you only had to remove one, would it be Roman Reigns?
Probably
Shinsuke.
Probably would be. I don't want to move Shinsuke because he did win a title this week.
Yeah, but on the pre-show.
Here's the thing. There's so many people on this roster. And we look at that, and that's just male athletes, right? Like, could have a female superstar been in that top 5? You can
Of
look at it a
course.
bunch of different ways. I mean, Kevin Owens,
Tag teams.
could Kevin Owens? He's at least close to that top 5, right?
Yeah, he was right on the outskirts. Yeah, I guess I'd call him my honorable mentions, So that was my top 5,
I
guys.
mean, that was it.
know?
That was a solid top 5. I mean,
Kevin Owens, these guys, it's hard to put Kevin Owens over Seth Rollins.
I'll tell you, Peezy, maybe you'll get lucky next week. You'll get all your legends in your top 5. You'll have Austin, Hogan, Undertaker.
that would be the greatest top 5 of all time.
No way.
I don't think I'm going to get it. Frank Knox is going to go all Meltzer on me. God damn it.
I'm taking this serious.
No, we got
He's
you.
the Meltzer.
I was going to say, Bret Hart might be number 6 if nobody tackles him on the way to the ring.
That was it. That was week 1. Frank Knox top 5.
Podcast around. To be blunt.
With Peezy.
Wow, this is the stolen moments, Stolen moments here on the 2B Blunt podcast. We're still kicking, baby. We're still going. We got a blunt we're going to relight, And it's been one hell of a show. If you guys want to call in 860-384-7110.
Cut a promo
versus Peezy. Try to stump the Scott.
How
Gas
about a
or Trash
freestyler
versus
rap?
Frank Knox, who's the best freestyler of all time.
I've been freestyling backpack shows. You never know. You may get one more out of me.
That's
this
right.
week,
I'm over here trying to think of pre-writtens, and this guy's spitting fresh. I love it. If you got it, call up. I'm surprised that, we didn't hear from...
We could have a cipher. It doesn't have to be a guess.
I never heard from Moonshine, this week. That kind of made me sad, too.
That makes me worried, actually.
Yeah, worried. Very worried. He's probably back to the bottle.
I mean, should I call Moonshine? Oh, shit. Someone's
I'm
calling.
really
No
cool.
way, dude.
Is it Moonshine?
I don't know.
Kyle LaPointe.
Kyle LaPointe. Oh.
Send a voicemail.
Who's
Press
that?
2.
Kyle LaPointe. I think...
Six.
Hello, you're on the 2B Blunt podcast.
Easy, my man. It is Kyle LaPointe. How you doing?
Oh, Kyle LaPointe. Kyle LaPointe, for everyone listening, has been... he's going to be the man that's going to give you the quick updates every week on the G1 tournament for now if he decides to call in. He talked to me and Frank earlier about this. He wants to talk about the G1.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to update you on the blocks and what's coming up next. So go ahead if you want to let him know, Mr. LaPointe.
All right. So, for those of you watching from the East Coast like us, G1 Night 5 was this morning. We had Kenta going 3-0, defeating Lance Archer. We had Evil defeating his tag team partner, Sonata. Okada also going 3-0, defeating Bullet Club's Bad Luck Fale. Tanahashi getting his first win so far in the G1 against Zack Sabre Jr., who surprisingly has not won a match yet. And then we had a slobber knocker of a match between Ibushi and Will Ospreay. Ibushi also finally putting points on the board. So in the A block, we've got 2 men undefeated with 6 points. We've got Kenta and Okada, while we have 1 man with no wins in Zack Sabre Jr. So the A block is looking a little ridiculous at the moment. But tomorrow morning, we've got day 3 of the B block, so night 6. We've got Shingo Takagi, who is a light heavyweight participating in the G1. He's taking on Taichi, who had a surprise victory against Naito just a few nights ago. We've got Naito going up against Hiroki Goto in a very interesting match. We've got Toru Yano, who had a surprise victory against Naito in the B block opener, facing Jay White, who has yet to win. We've got the 1-1 Juice Robinson, the 2-0 Juice Robinson, taking on the 0-2 Jeff Cobb. In the main event, 2 more undefeated men from the B block. We've got Tomohiro Ishii and Jon Moxley. Dean Ambrose, for those of you who do not follow non-WWE. So we've got lots of great things coming up for the G1 this week. Like I said, in the B block, we've got 3 men at 4 points, Jon Moxley, Ishii, and Juice Robinson. And then we've got Jeff Cobb with 0 points, and also Jay White with 0 points. So the G1 this year, a lot of the favorites are looking a little weak.
Yeah, well, it's going to be an interesting tournament, I guess, this year.
Yeah. Like I said,
he's
like
there.
I was
Okay.
telling you before, PZ, I mean, we're week 4, and we got no love for New Japan Pro Wrestling, so I had to call in and show some love for my boys across the pond.
Well, we appreciate it, man. I hope you call in next week.
That's right. We appreciate it. Thanks, Kyle. Kyle LaPointe on the G1 tournament updates. You don't want to say anything. Anyways, let's
we'll get a little quick update.
That was nice.
If the guy wants to talk, anyone wants to stump the Scott, talk anything.
That's right.
Call up.
And I want to hope we got a couple of the things coming up. How about God? What was that? The art of rolling the blunt. What I like about these King Palms, Frank Knox, Scott, you wouldn't even know what the hell I'm talking about.
Yeah, those are great.
Is that you don't actually have to smoke, roll this thing up. You don't. We can smoke it.
No,
if
you
would light
just
it up,
stuff it
it'd
up.
be great.
Yeah, you just stuff it.
Yeah, you just stuff it up. These King Palms, you just stuff the weed in there. It's great. It's like one of those pre-rolled cones.
It's very easy to do.
Very easy. Yeah, I love it. But I feel like the art of rolling a blunt or rolling a joint is like gone these days because you can go to all these dispensaries and shit and get pre-rolls, or your local dealer's probably selling pre-rolls, You know what I mean?
Or you could get cartridges. Yeah, the art of breaking down your weed by hand and rolling up yourself is gone. I notice a lot of people these days can't even do it.
It's true. Exactly. And that's the thing. I was thinking of like a business idea. Scott, I know wrestling's your forte, but hear me out here. Okay. We were thinking of, how like Best Buy's got the Geek Squad?
Of course.
Right. So we had this idea of coming out with the Geek'd Up Squad, or the Geek'd Out Squad, sorry. The Geek'd Out Squad.
Interesting.
The Geek'd Out Squad. And the Geek'd Out Squad is a company of guys who will do like tech support for your weed. They'll come out, they'll test your weed for you and its levels and its intensity and its THC levels. They'll they'll fix your broken smoking devices.
Yeah, they'll take them to their state-of-the-art facility. Fix them. They have tons of glass blowers.
Tons of glass blowers and state-of-the-art equipment to fix like your vape pens or your blow torches if you're trying to do dabs.
You can't even roll a joint. Like say you continue to you suck at rolling joints, you suck at rolling blunts, but you want to smoke one, they will come and roll it up. Like
exactly.
Peezy said. I think
how's that sound, Sky? Isn't that like a great idea?
It's a great idea, but I'm just worried, would they test too much?
That can never be a bad thing.
We would only. I think they only test that much if it's good, and otherwise they probably just pass. Go on to the
Jessica Marie.
Sorry, I wonder if I should call her. Let her call on the air. I don't think she'd be happy about that.
No, but this is out.
Anyways. God. So I call this the Geek'd Out Squad. God damn it. Man, suckers of shit. I smoke my weed. Fuck, I can't roll for shit.
Don't worry, man. We'll call the Geek'd Out Squad.
Are you one of thousands of individuals who still cannot roll their own joint or blunt?
Man, I broke another Dutch.
Well, worry no longer. I introduce you to the Geek'd Out Squad. At Geek'd Out, we make in-house calls to help you not only roll up your sticky icky, we will also test it for you by smoking a joint of it to let you know if you have that good or that Bobby Brown.
Yo, this that gas.
In addition to helping you roll up, the Geek'd Out Squad will clean your glass and take any broken smoking devices to our state-of-the-art facility for repair. No long wait.
Man, they've helped me clean all my bongs and bowls.
Don't be a geek who can't roll his own trees. Get geeked out today.
My name is Brian Pillman Jr. I am one-third of the New Heart Foundation on Major League Wrestling, and you are listening to Peezy on the 2B Blunt Podcast.
That's right, baby. The 2B Blunt Podcast. And we're back. And, it's been one hell of a show, man. We had the Scott here live.
Yeah, it's been
in
great.
Studio. Scott, thank you for coming by,
awesome.
man.
You've been helping us out because we've just been smoking up the whole time.
I think we got too high, bro.
Somebody's got to keep the order.
That's what I mean. It was great having you around to do so, And it was very interesting having a third perspective, and you had a lot of facts, and that's why we call you, the Scott. I mean, this guy knows everything when it comes to wrestling knowledge.
That's right.
And, for anyone except for the one guy who called in and gave me a goddamn attitude, who tried to stump the Scott. I'm sorry, Scott. I took the one guy who tried to call in and stump you, and I hung up on his ass.
You took it away from me. But
he was being a douchebag, catching an attitude. You heard Richard Stone. He doesn't deal with people who take a tone. Well, I'm not going to deal with people who take a tone with me either. God damn it.
Jeez, man, calm down.
That's
you smoked
right.
a lot of weed. You're fired up.
I'm fired up, baby. It's been one hell of a show, guys. Next week is going to be another week. Episode 5, we're still churning along. But the big news we have, is going to be the following week, week 6, 8-1, August 1st. We have renowned wrestling ring announcer Mark Haggerty. Don Kincaid.
You said renowned. You said renowned,
I didn't
right?
say reporter. I said announcer.
Well, I'm so used to talking to Don Kincaid all the time. I got to hear that.
Man, August 1st, we have renowned wrestling ring announcer Mark Haggerty, a man who went from high-class cannabis cultivator on the West Coast in California to one of the best ring announcers traveling up and down the East Coast.
Wow.
He was just featured in High Times magazine, and he's going to be here August 1st.
I see that. I'm looking forward to it.
And then the week after that, we have another big show.
Yeah.
We're going to have a special exclusive interview with the one, the only, New England legend, Joseph Von Schmidt.
Wow, no way.
The man who trained me, and we're going to talk about his history. We're going to talk about his career. We're going to talk about the controversial closing of the PWA doors, the wrestling school that was ran here, and why the promotion, he ended up closing its doors, which I don't think anybody's ever got the story, and his most recent return. And if you didn't know, Frank, our buddy Brian Pillman Jr. is facing Joseph Von Schmidt on August 10th.
Yeah, I saw the poster. You showed it to me, man. That's cool.
So I'm really excited to be having him on August 8th. And we're going to be doing a lot more of these interviews coming up. So I hope you guys tune in. Next week, we're going to be talking about Raw and SmackDown again. Maybe NXT. I don't think there's anything AEW going on, right?
No, unless you watch the YouTube series.
Man,
Scott, you watching the YouTube series?
I got to do some catching up on that.
Oh, thank God someone's got. I ain't watching that shit.
Man, so it's gonna be a good couple weeks coming up for the 2B Blunt podcast.
And you know what comes the week after that, right?
It's the big weekend.
It's the bachelor party edition of the 2B Blunt podcast,
There's
baby.
There's gonna be swantons and power bombs all
and pile
weekend
drivers,
long,
baby.
in the pool. Whatever we gotta do.
Swanton dropping the elbows in the pool. We're gonna be styling and profiling down in Atlantic City. Woo! Hollywood Hulk.
Hogan Peezy's coming out.
Hollywood Hulk Peezy, brother. We're gonna smoke our weed. We're gonna take our shots. We're gonna drink our drinks. We're gonna hit the strip, brother, and we're gonna do it all live. And then before that is the special 2B Blunt podcast Bachelor Party Edition.
Man. It's gonna
be sick. It's gonna be no holds barred. It's gonna be no holds barred.
We might be doing this on 95, going 60. And then, have some production teams. Scott, you gonna be with us?
I think I might have to make this. I don't know. I think the listeners there might have to put a helmet on.
We're going down.
It's going down, baby. You're not gonna want to miss that.
That's right. So check us out. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at 2B Blunt Podcast.
Yep, the number 2.
It is the number 2. Thank you, Frank. The number 2, bitch. B Blunt Podcast.
2 BEBLUNT.
From the Scott, Frank Knox, and your host, Peezy. I'll see you next week where we get blooded.
This is the one above all. Your LCW World Champion and the Stone CZW World Tag Team Champion. And you're tuned into another episode of To Be Blunt with Peezy.
In come the thing called, I'm the original weed man. The big man. Made by the ragamuffin, cashed out bad. No grinder, we just crush it in a hand. And that's why you have to understand. Do job.
Inhale the air, I feel your sweet sense of me. You make sense to me. You heard right, homegrown to heal the people. And it should be legal, but some still put up a fight. Not everyone can walk in a store, buy an ounce, nothing more, no dispense.
100 acre in a humble county. Have me license, so me no afraid of federally. Them legalize the herb so you can burn it up front. We now sell you no Reggie, we no give you no scum. Put the cushion on your grinder, roll yourself a good blunt. Red eyes of your eye for a month. Strictly cash on delivery. We put the package on a drone, get it rapidly. Sell you a clone, make you grow in your community. The weed man a enterprise, cause the hustle never die. You see?
My weed man, I call him when I need him. Always got the fire on deck. Yeah, he's my weed man. Chronic rolling ready when I see him. And he ain't ever let me down yet. And it goes a deeper. Oh, homie's got what it takes to relieve ya. And no matter where I'll be, all I do is call. He gon' bring it right to me. He's my weed man. I call him when I need him. Always got the fire on deck. Yeah, he's my weed man. Chronic rolling ready when I see him. And he ain't ever let me down yet. And it goes a deeper. Oh, homie's got what it takes to relieve ya. And no matter where I'll be, all I do is call. He gon' bring it right to me. He's my weed man.
Get to Old Navy for the biggest sale of the year. Up to 60% off all back-to-school styles for kids and baby. Get flip-flops for $2, graphic tees for $4, shorts for $6, and jeans for $8. Right now, get the best kids' styles at kid-size prices. Just $2, $4, $6, and $8. Can't wait to wear it? Buy online and pick up in-store free today. Up to 60% off all kids and baby styles now at Old Navy and OldNavy.com. Valid 7/29 to 8/11. Select styles. Excludes in-store clearance.
Say Metro by T-Mobile got the best deal in wireless, and it's all for you, all for me. Just switch quickly, cause Metro has 2 lines for $80 and 2 Samsung Galaxy J7 Star phones for free, plus Amazon Prime included. That's the way wireless should be, only at Metro.
Plus sales tax and activation fee. $50 plus rate plan required. Not valid for numbers currently on T-Mobile network or on Metro in past 90 days. Offer subject to change. Offer valid for new Amazon Prime members. Amazon Prime has a $12.99 per month value. Restrictions apply. See store for details and terms and conditions.